Well, this is Bishop Albert Thompson. I'm here with another episode of State Your Case. I'm here with Minister Eric Williams here in the great city of Opelousas, Louisiana. Brother Eric, how you doing?
Doing good in you, Bishop.
Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Well, you've been on with us before. You were on Men of Excellence. But kind of recap for the State of Your Case audience, some of the things that you do here in the city of Opelousas, Louisiana.
We're involved with the youth very heavily, definitely with the stigma of gun violence. We take a proactive approach. We go into the neighborhoods, we pray. We also teach chess. We get into the school system. We do life coaching skills. And we use the word of God too as well. And we teach each chess piece represents a character trait. And recently, we just got this book right here,
Okay.
the Down Power Up Way of Playing Chess. You can order it on Amazon, you guys. And even locally here in Opelousas, if you're listening, you can go to Benny's supermarket and get this book as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, we do a whole lot in the community, and we're just trying to do our part.
Well, let me ask you this. With the recent gun laws that changed here in Louisiana, how do you see that affecting our community? Because, everybody wants to go out, and purchase a weapon. And so how do you see that affecting our community right now?
It's affecting our community very bad. I mean, just last night somebody got killed. Just
Mm,
like somebody got murdered. So now you don't need to conceal carry. That means it's going to be the wild, wild west.
yeah.
You know. So, and I look at people who voted yes on it. Some people in this public record to show the state reps and the people that had the power to vote no on that. And man, it's kind of sad that you have people that's in this area set up voted yes to pass that bill, man,
Mm,
knowing the crime rate in our area and knowing how violent it is. I think that's very sad that we have
yeah.
people that sit in positions that we voted for voting yes to put guns in our babies' hands without any training. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a gun. I mean, but you should have some training,
Yeah.
some safety. Something should be there so you to know when to pull that trigger, when not to pull that trigger. Some kind of safety protocol.
Okay.
When you
All right.
say you can get a gun with no safety protocol, that's dangerous.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I'm gonna throw this in, and this is one of the things that concern me, and I want to hear your take on it. Across the nation, um, black men that they think have guns and don't, but they think they have guns are getting shot by the police. White men, and this is just the honest straight up truth, white men that they know have guns and have shot somebody are walking away in handcuffs. So it is a concern because of the culture, because of the mindset. And I have many friends that are police officers, and they have, I have one guy that I've known since I was a preteen. I've known him since I was about 10 or 11 years old, and he was a police officer. He retired, and he asked me a question one time. He said, "Have you ever heard the term routine traffic stop?" I said, "I've heard that term several times." He said, "There's no such thing." He said, "You pull somebody over, anything could happen. You don't know what you're walking into." So I understand the dangers of the job of the police officer. But the fact of the matter is, the young man in Texas, the guy up north, Dylan Roof, the man, yeah, that went into that church and shot 9 people. And he said he was hungry, and the police took him to Wendy's or Burger King, one of the two, to get a hamburger before they took him to jail because he said he was hungry and he just killed 9 people. So I'm saying many of them, they're walking away sometimes after having shot and killed someone, but black men that they think have guns and don't are being shot and killed. All right, even the young man, Castile up north, I can't think exactly where he's from. Judge Hatchett, she represented the family, and he told them he had a gun and where the gun was, and they still shot him. He still was shot and killed, and so I'm concerned, concerning how, you know, I'm just concerned about that whole thing. You understand? Well, give me a little feedback on how you feel about, the police involvement.
Well, I do got to say this. We have partnered with the Marshal Office
Okay.
here, and they have been excellent. They have been great. Notice I said the Marshal Office.
Yeah.
You have other agencies that I feel that can do more when it comes to supporting programs that can bring awareness to gun
Uh-huh.
violence, and they just sit back, and I'm just keeping it real and honest when it comes to our local uh, officers in this area. I thank God for the Marshal Paul Mouton and the Marshal Office giving us some classes to do our program in, and the
Okay.
superintendent Milton Baptiste. Now, let me answer this. I talked to a police officer. He was waiting at Walgreens. Matter of fact, I was waiting
Mm-hmm.
on to get a prescription. He was dressed up, and I had my shirt on and all that. He turned around and seen my shirt said "Guns Down, Power Up," and he was like, hmm. He asked me what was that about. I explained it to him. I told him. Now he's an officer in Ville Platte,
Okay.
but he was picking up his medicine in Opelousas because he lived in Opelousas.
Okay.
Now he told me that he gonna make it home. He said he's gonna make it home. He
Yeah.
said, I understand. He said he got a family. He gonna make it home. So he pretty much saying that before he loses his life,
Yeah.
he's pulling that trigger to take a life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much what he was saying in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah.
He coming home. So by any means necessary, if he got to shoot somebody and kill somebody while he on duty to make it home, he
Yeah.
coming home. A lot of them afraid. And now
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think about it like this. Now you don't know if they got a gun or not. That's even more fear in a
Yeah.
police officer. And now let's think about the bad cops, because all of them ain't bad.
No, no, no.
Now let's think about the ones that are bad. These people, they see that a person got a gun. Hey, they can shoot that person, and hey, he pulled this gun on me.
Yeah.
Anything now, it's hey, he had a gun. If you're walking around with a gun and the police see that you got a gun,
Yeah.
they can justify why they took your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be justifiable now because you're walking around with a gun.
Yeah. And another thing with the recent um parole laws that been set in Louisiana by a new governor and how they voted, they passed it, where people going to be doing some serious time. I think this is just another form of, because see, it's big money in jails. You know what I'm saying? It's big money in prisons. Um, and I think this is somewhere closer, and I understand why they want to do it, say to keep criminals off the street. But when you're opening up the
I ain't
uh
hear nothing saying, brother.
okay, it should, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, I saw the thing came up there. But the local, um, how can I put it, in the state, with those laws being changed, whereas you're gonna spend your whole time in jail, and now the law with the carry, of the guns, like what you said earlier, gonna be the Wild West out here. Um, it strengthens that prison system, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I think, similar to the crime bill. All right. And a lot of people don't know about the meetings that went on uh about the crime bill and how the government put drugs in the community, and they put the crack. There was other cocaine that went into other communities, but the crack was what was pushed into the black community, and that's where the stiffest, hardest punishments were for the crack or powdered cocaine. That's how it just became another. I want to say this to me seemed like another thing about the crime bill, or something to aid it, because all of the politicians. Okay, we're gonna kind of skip to the national politics. Both sides, both the Democrats and the Republicans, both uh, Vice President Harris and former President Trump, both criticized, and even former President Clinton, who signed the bill. He said it was overreaching and too much. But it's amazing that no one wants to repeal that bill. Now, they wanted to repeal the insurance bill, where people got the insurance, the Affordable Care Act. That's another conversation. But
got a bad connection.
nobody is still not connected. You still can't hear me? Can you hear me? Still can't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. All right. Folks, we apologize. Uh, we get out all this good information, and the devil don't want to get it out.
Yeah.
But we go get it out. We go get it out. We ain't gonna be too much longer. But nobody's fighting. Nobody's saying they're gonna do anything to overturn that bill, because they look at the grades that a child has by the fourth grade, and that's how they determine how much money they're going to put into the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
So I love what you're doing. My question, though, is how are the politicians reacting to what you're doing? Are you getting any support, or any attaboys, or any pats on the back, or either what can we do to help you?
Lord have mercy. If we would have more help from politicians,
Mm-hmm.
we would see a greater impact,
Okay.
because the constituents voted them in.
Yeah.
These politicians, go look on their Facebook page. Our local politicians,
Mm-hmm.
this area, just in this area, do they share what we're doing every other Sunday in the community on their pages? Go look at what they share. Go look at what they talk about.
Okay.
Even when you get a chance, personally,
Okay.
and all of you viewers out there, go look at your politicians' pages on Facebook and their social media pages. Are they promoting this program? To answer your question, no, they don't reach out and say, hey, how can we help?
All right.
Hey, what you need help with? I got to always call them, and I didn't stop. I didn't got to the point to where it's like I would rather them show up and bless the kids with their presence, because a lot of times people think they can just give you money and they ain't got to show up. No, yeah. I want you to come. Yeah. So if we do need money. Yeah, we do need your resources. But if it come between your money and your presence, I'd rather your presence.
All right.
And I have told them that we'd rather you show up, because in this, if you show up, you can see what the kids need. You can see what the program need.
Yeah.
You can hear the stories we hear when kids talk about violence in their community and their neighborhoods.
Yeah, yeah.
How they lost their father to guns, and brothers and sisters, and these kids with these stories.
Wow.
And they can be compelling to touch their heart. This little word called compassion.
Yeah.
That's all some of these kids need, is some compassion. But a lot of these politicians, they're well off. You see, they're not in the neighborhoods where the bullets, they can hear the guns being fired at night.
Yeah, yeah.
Their kids are in a gated community, in a nice community, a nice area.
Yeah.
So that's why every now and then we go amongst people and we get to know them. A lot of times politicians don't do that until election season.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
once election season over with, you don't see them no more.
Don't see him no more till the next election season.
To answer your question again, when election season come around, they knocking on guns down, power up though. They want photo shoots. Hey, well, what you need? Oh man, once I get in office, I'm gonna do this for you. Once I get in, we're gonna do this. But you ain't been doing nothing all these 4 years. What make me think you're gonna do something when you get in office?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you.
And then they disappear. And when
Yeah,
they don't win, they disappear.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I had a
sad.
guy tell me that a friend of mine had ran for office and didn't win, and the guy that the people voted in, he wouldn't do nothing. So that after he lost his election, they still came to him, and he still had to do it. And he didn't even get elected. He said, "Man, I didn't even get elected." And he said, I did not get elected either time. A couple of times he ran, he didn't get elected, and the person that they elected didn't do, so he had to go and try to get done what they elected somebody else to do, who's getting a salary by them, man, matter of fact, and he had to pay out of his pocket. But he cared about his neighborhood, he cared about his community. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things. But listen, we're about to wrap it up because this is our first show together. It's our pilot show with the political and the community side of it. Uh, One of the things we got a national election coming up, and I'm not here to tell people to vote for either side, but one of the things that kind of bother me is that sometimes there's like a cult-like following of these people, and nobody's asking them the direct questions that they need to be asked. You know, they'll say certain things. I'll continue to, I would rather you tell me, okay, this is what I can do by myself, but this is what I need help doing. I need you to elect people that's going to vote this way. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But they will just say, I will march into Congress and I'll tell them we need to do. But if you depending on their vote and we got the wrong people in there, they ain't gonna vote for it. They ain't gonna do it.
right.
You know, I've been watching this thing for a long time, and I noticed something. That both the Democrats and the Republicans do it. Um, okay, let's talk about the George Floyd Justice and Policing bill. The Democrats, they were all for it. This is our bill. They had the majority, didn't get it done. They done this before. Didn't get it done. Then when the Republicans took over the House, they brought it up again and didn't get the votes. And they say, see the Republicans. But why y'all didn't get it done
We
when
all right.
when you were the majority? Okay. So I'm saying I see these types of things, and people think it's about them liking you. See, a lot of stuff got done years ago because of the pressure. Abraham Lincoln did not free the slaves, emancipate the slave because he made the statement, if I could save the Union and keep them slaves, I would do it. But Frederick Douglass made his life miserable. Frederick Douglass was a free black man, and he come at him with they said Frederick Douglass was on him the same way Martin Luther King was on Kennedy and Johnson, same way Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X was on Kennedy and John. I mean, they were wearing them out, and they said, look, we got to do something to get these folks off our back.
Right.
You know, it ain't because they like you, because they got people paying them millions of dollars. A lot of people don't realize, I saw something, and it was talking about the financial donors. Back when President Bush was getting out of office, and people were upset with him and the Republican Party, and some of the same big donors gave money to the Democratic Party
Mm-hmm.
because they have a statement. They say, we don't care who wins as long as we control the purse strings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll just get it done a different way. You know, the whole thing with them is about the almighty dollar. And so
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the right questions are being asked. You know, I don't think they've questioned former President Trump enough about January 6th. You know, I don't think they questioned Vice President Harris enough about certain things. I'll give you an example. Trump left $85 billion, $85 billion specifically for the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
When President Biden got in, he divided that same $85 billion among all minorities. So why is she not being asked, is she going to get that money back to the Black community? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
See, those are the things that everybody, if you put it out there where they have to do it, they're going to do it. But we get so excited, oh, we're going to have somebody that look like us in there. Or I can't stand Trump. And on the other side, oh, we can't stand Harris. She this, that, and the other. And people don't ask these questions and they don't put it on the table. These people want to be elected. So if you put on the table and say, if you want our vote, this is what you're going to have to do and be collected, that's what they will do. But why do we get so excited into the personality and we don't get nothing out of it? Tell me your take on that, and we're going to close the show out.
Well, it's quite a few things I like to say. First of all, I want to go back to the bill that they passed for these prisons and the age with the guns. It's just let's just call it what it is. It's just another form of slavery.
Yeah, 20th century. America has always got to have some form of slavery.
It's just another form of slavery. And here in the state of Louisiana, we passing these bills where now kids will be charged an adult. I want to say at 17 or 18. They didn't changed it to make them adult when they do something wrong now. Now you giving them, they can walk around with concealed carry. Who's going to get these hands on these guns, these little bitty babies, these little kids? And then when they do these crimes, they're going to get charged as adults. That's another form of slavery. Now you're nothing more than a number.
Yeah.
You're just a number now. You in the system. We got you. You know, and it's sad that our politicians don't sit down and have meetings and break this down to the family.
Yeah.
To the constituents. How important this is. This new governor ain't playing, you know. So it's on the parents. Don't get me wrong, it's on the parents because majority of them is the ones voting for these same old people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so we got to get more educated about what we're voting for.
That's right.
We get more educated about what we're voting for. And then when it comes to voting for the president, we got to get in this as Christians, as kingdom citizens. We got to get in this word.
Yeah.
And we got to ask ourselves, which policies are lining up close to the kingdom principle? All right. Is it Donald Trump's policies? Or is it Kamala Harris? Mm-hmm. You know, we got to ask ourselves, who is closer to the kingdom principles? Mm-hmm. And that's how I'm going to vote. Yes. You know, because at the end of the day, and the way things are looking, Christians' rights are being taken.
Yeah. We
can't hardly say too much nowadays at time. And everything is being exalted. The world is being exalted. But when it comes to Christian principles, and man, you got this universal sex on the door now. You can have a grown man in a bathroom with a little girl.
Yeah.
Man, what are we doing?
Yeah, I remember years ago a preacher, he went to a church and was like that. And he said he went to a stall, he said every stall he knocked on, a woman cried out. He said, "Oh no, man. What are y'all?" He preached on it. He said, right with the pastor sitting there. He said, anytime the church don't know no better, you know the world ain't gonna know no better.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. One preacher put out a thing, he called it churchanity and not Christianity.
And some policies are anti.
Yeah,
Look at where we at.
yeah,
It's anti.
yeah,
Some of these governments is set up as anti. And the word anti means against.
yeah,
It's against God. A
yeah,
lot of these things that's being done and our with our politicians, a lot of them don't know God. They
yeah,
act like they do, they talk like they do.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, they don't have no true relationship with God
yeah,
because things wouldn't be the way they are, you
yeah.
know.
That's right.
Certain things wouldn't be accepted the way that they are.
Yeah,
Look at what's being pushed.
yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah,
that's my take on that.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Well, looking, folks, we got to get out of here. This has been an episode of State Your Case. I'm Bishop Albert Thompson, and for Minister Eric Williams, we're saying, hey, we'll see you next time.
Yeah,